On Monday morning's show, we sat down with three-time F1 champ Sir Jackie Stewart. Here's part two of that discussion. Dementia, in my opinion, is the breaking of not just the person dealing with it, but the families caring for those that are. Today, Sir Jackie, you have spent plenty of time racing against dementia to find a cure. Dementia has no cure and no preventative medicine. This is an underfunded global problem. This, of course, hits close to home for both of us. My mom, this is my favorite picture of her. She passed away in 2019 with dementia and COPD. And as you mentioned, your wife of nearly 60 years, Helen, is coping with dementia. Tell us about your charity, Race Against Dementia, and your goals for today and the future.
Well, the fact that after over 45 years, there's no cure or no preventive medicine, you've just said it. That's ridiculous. I mean, people go to the moon now. People go into space now, and yet we cannot find a cure for dementia. Now, this up here is more complicated than any other piece of kit in the world, no doubt about it. However, having said that, the medical profession to some extent are somewhat guilty. They've done a great job with cancer, but because it's been so complicated, because it's such a long, different business of trying to get a cure for it, they've given up, basically. I mean, there's much more money goes into cancer research because it's a lot of public giving money than goes in to dementia. I mean, we have trouble raising enough money, whether it's $10 or whether it's $1 million, to just get that so that we can get something different found out. Now, we're using Formula One as an example because Formula One is without doubt the fastest problem-solving activity in the world. I mean, there'll be a Grand Prix this weekend in Portugal. And after that Grand Prix, there'll be 6 major changes in that car within 10 days. Designed, manufactured, and tested. Now that's change. So we send the PhDs that we buy with the money that we get from the general public. We buy PhDs from the best universities, medical universities in the world. Now today, because of the internet, we know who these universities are and the grades of all the men and women who have come to the top. We then offer them and guarantee them and pay them 5 years in advance. And we look after them, we dress them, we send them to public speaking courses, and we take them to McLaren and Red Bull to see how they work. Their workplaces are even more clean and tidy than a laboratory in medical worlds. So they learn from that. We're trying to accelerate that side of it. And I hope in even my lifetime, we've got something significant to offer, because I've just left. A gentleman came up to have lunch with me today here with his wife. He's got dementia. He was a racing driver at a lower level, but he's an American. And he was just so enthusiastic and so forth. Now he A, can hardly walk, and B, can remember nothing. And that man and that woman is having to look after him, and his sons, 2 of them, have got to look after him, and his grandchildren have got to go and cuddle him. I mean, he's helpless. Now that's a terrible thing. And then he'll have to go to a home because the family can't sustain somebody of that kind to look after them 24 hours a day. Helen, I pay for this, nothing to do with the money out of dementia, but we've got 7 neuro nurses, specialists, only 2 at a time because they're 24 hours a day. Now, very few people can afford that. My motor racing allows that to take place, because luckily I made money after motor racing because I was Jackie Stewart. But it's a terrible illness, and it's the biggest killer now that we have. And you know what? Now the projections are that for every 3 people that are born today, 1 is going to have dementia. And we don't even have the homes to accommodate these people. And most people don't have the money to get those people into homes.
Sir Jackie, I have the logo pin right here on my lapel jacket. And, I love what you've done with the charity in terms of the messages. The race is on, winning takes action, caring is not enough. You want this to be dynamic and innovative. The type on the logo represents the shattered mental state and also echoes the fractured reality of Formula One driving. It deliberately distorts character linking motorsport and dementia, as you've mentioned. People with dementia face that experience every single day. How did you come up with such a wonderful idea for the logo?
Well, I guess it's part of my life, which I always believed that winning was not enough. You have to go beyond winning to make the big time, so to speak. And I was shocked when I was told by the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, that Helen had dementia, because I go to the Mayo Clinic every single year for 3 to 4 days of complete medicine from 6 in the morning till 6 at night. Probably the best diagnostic clinic in the world. But when I was told by the head of neuro that Helen had dementia, and I'm really sorry, Jackie, but there's no cure. I'm in the Mayo Clinic. You're no cure. But the answer is, it didn't matter where I went thereafter, the same answer came up. So it drove me to think, what can we do? So for me, winning itself is not enough. You've got to go beyond winning. And from my point of view, to be able to do that, A, you need money, B, you need contacts. I mean, because I was a racing driver, because I spent a lot of time in America with ABC's Wide World Sport and so forth, and round the world, we've got 2 people in Australia right now. Now, I've won the Australian Grand Prix. So when I decided to have something in Australia, I thought, far away, but we need something in the Southern Hemisphere. So we've got it there. The same applies. We've got North America. We've got representations there. We've got China. We've got Scotland. We've got London. We've got Miami as well, by the way, and so forth. So we're trying to find other ways of doing things. And just winning is not enough. And we haven't won yet, because there's more people with dementia than any other illness, and it lasts longer. People live with dementia for a very long time because they do a lot of sleeping. They're immobile in a lot of cases. So therefore, they're not using up the rest of the body. So it has so many different dimensions. And my motor racing has had a lot to do with my getting contacts, getting help, getting assistance, getting fundraising. And like I said, if people can give a little money to Race Against Dementia, it's well spent. Nobody earns any money out of that. It all goes into research. And we've got to find the best talent. So the more money we get, the more we can find new young men and women who are ambitious. And if I can take them and they meet the best drivers in the world, and they see the best engineers in the world, and the best research in the world, and the best problem solving in the world, we maybe have a chance of getting this done.
Sir Jackie, I made a small donation to the website and then decided to pledge some more. You can do that in multiple ways for those at home that are watching, including purchasing signed memorabilia through places like the Signature Store in the UK. This beautiful lithograph is signed by Sir Jackie, and all proceeds benefit the Race Against Dementia. As Sir Jackie says, your donation will help set a bold new vision for research that will take us over the finish line, win against the Race Against Dementia. So, Sir Jackie, you're one of my 4 drivers on my Mount Rushmore of F1 legends. I have you, I have Fangio, Jim Clark, and Mr. Prost. Thank you so much for your time and dedication to this race. I think if anyone can win it, it is you. Please send my best to Lady Helen as well.
I thank you for your help. I thank you for your promotion of Race Against Dementia. A big thank you for that. And thank you to those of you who are watching this today. Please give a donation of some kind. If we were to do that every day or every week or every month, we would be able to afford more PhDs, and we will win, because that's all that's happened in my whole life. You've got to win.